Hey there, person watching. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Divine FM Tarot 888. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's nice to see you. So tonight I thought I would just do a general energy check, just kind of see what's going on with the cards, what they want you to know. So spirit guides and angels, please shield me, cover me, and protect me throughout this reading and beyond. Divine, giving clear and accurate messages for the person watching. So let's take a look, see what's going on. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so the next time I do a video, you'll be notified. Also, just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And a big shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all your support, your love, your kind words, your shares, all the positive energy that you pour into my channel. I appreciate it so much. So let's get a few cards from this Love Oracle deck and see what it says. We'll pull cards from another deck and then we'll pull some tarot. What does the person watching need to know for their highest good? Ooh, let's see. So we got mystery. Something's on your mind, person watching. There's a mystery brewing, right? You may be heavily in thought about somebody. Ooh, I think you're at a crossroads and you're going through a spiritual awakening. Wow. That's actually very cool. So you're at a crossroads with some situation. It could be about family, friends. It could be about work. It could be about past, present, or future, right? And you're going through a spiritual awakening, right? You have really like committed to yourself. You're healing. You're happy. You know, you've gone deep within, right? And I feel like you're probably just now coming out of it, which is great. You may have started this journey maybe, you know, sometime in the winter time possibly. And I feel like you're kind of coming into the new you, right? You're figuring out like what your triggers are, what you will accept, what you won't accept. You've decided who's going to be allowed in your life and not allowed in your life, which is great. We just had a full moon in Capricorn, so it was a little heavy. We're out of that, you know, moon energy, that full moon energy right now, which is good. But we also have a Saturn in retrograde right now, all the way till November, I think. And we've got Mercury in retrograde. And that's going to go from the 17th of July through the beginning of August. I think it's like the 11th of August. So there's still a lot of wonky energy going on, to be honest with you. Let's get a couple more cards and then we'll pull from another deck and see what's going on. Divine intervention. Yes. So I feel like something in your life caused you to go through this spiritual awakening, right? I feel like maybe you were, you know, stuck in a situation. You weren't really sure what was going on with a relationship that you had with somebody. You could have been pouring a lot more into this person than they were pouring into you, right? And you could have found something out last winter, maybe the beginning of this year, about, you know, maybe some extracurricular activities, right, that this person had. And I feel like you're kind of at a crossroads, right? You were at a crossroads then, but because it came out before spiritual awakening, again, I feel like it's a past crossroads, right? And you kind of took the path of, I'm not going to keep on with this negative journey. I'm not going to keep pouring into somebody who is not pouring, as you know, into me at all, mentally, emotionally, and financially. And again, that's what kind of shook you into this spiritual awakening, which was divine intervention, right? You were supposed to be moved out of that, absolutely, because that's not, I feel like it's something you outgrew someone, you know? Maybe they were really immature. Again, could have had a third party around, could have had friends in their ear, maybe family members, you know, listening to them. Don't marry him, don't marry her. Why are you with that person? That type of thing. And you were just like, you know what? I'm going to cut my losses. I'm out of here. This is not cool. The truth. Yes. The truth came out, right? Something was exposed, person watching. And again, I go back to you pouring more into somebody than they were willing to pour into you. Let me see what else I got. Oh, we've got signs and synchronicities, right? So coincidences, signs, messages. Yeah, you were getting messages from this person, okay? You were basically, I think, left out in the cold a lot. I feel like you didn't know kind of what was going on. This person always left you guessing. You know, you thought you were going to move in with them and then it kind of flipped. And I feel like maybe you tried to contact this person through text messages, through, you know, other forms of messaging, and they just weren't reciprocating that energy, right? They weren't pouring into you. It was kind of an in and out, which did, again, leave you at a crossroads, going back to that card. So let's get some hidden oracle messages, right? Let's see what the hidden messages are for this person, kind of what's been going on in their life and why they didn't pour into you or why they chose to not be with you. Let's see, what is mystery? Oh, fake apology. Yeah, well, guess what? Mercury in retrograde is here, right? You might be expecting a fake apology, or somebody's going to come back from the past because they realize that they left you in this mindset of always guessing, right? Like, does he or she love me? Is this going to go further? And I feel like they would come in and out. They would ebb and flow in and out of your life, right? And they would kind of love bomb you, and you would think, oh my God, this is going to be great. And you know, you almost waited for the relationship to move forward, but this person would kind of take like maybe 5 or 10 steps forward with you and then take another 5 or 10 back. And they could have ghosted you. Maybe you didn't hear from them for a while. And again, it left you, going back to the whole crossroads thing, in a mindset of not knowing which way to go, right? You're like stuck at a point. It's like a Y shape, or like I'm thinking of a wishbone. And you're like, okay, yes, we're going to be together. It's going to be great. And then like 3 weeks later, it'd be like, why can't I get a hold of you? Like, what's going on? You know, you just weren't left in a very secure position, I feel like, with this person, right? I feel like they played a lot of mind games with you. Let's see, situations about to explode. Yeah, you're gonna find out some stuff. I feel like, and then we got outdated. Yeah, I feel like this person is going to come back in, and they're going to be giving you the truth about what happened 6-8 months ago, right? Why they ghosted you, why they couldn't pour into you. And I feel like, unfortunately, again, it's going to be about a third party that they chose over you. But at that time, they were even unsure. And maybe that third party was treating them like they treated you. So while you were at a crossroads, I feel like they were standing right next to you, because they kind of didn't know which way to go either. But I feel like this outdated, expired, old ways of thinking and this discarding of people kind of, you know, came back to kick them in the hiney. I mean, it was a bad decision. It was a bad choice. It was a bad mistake. And I feel like, you know, while you were triggered to go toward a spiritual awakening, this person was triggered to stay into a toxic loop, right? And again, I feel like they knew you would always be there, right? I feel like they didn't have to chase you, you know, whether it's a male or female. They didn't have to pursue you because you were just readily available. And this is the type of person that wants to pursue somebody, right? Yes, they want to feel loved. Yes, they want to, you know, they're kind of clingy, but they also like it when people tell them no, you know, and that's kind of ironic because it's really weird, right? So when you're a yes man or a yes woman, some people think, oh my gosh, that would be so great to have. But then once they get it, they're kind of like, yeah, whatever. There's not a challenge there, right? And as we know, you know, the whole hunter-gatherer thing, men love to hunt. Some women love to hunt too. They like the prowl. They like to be told no. They like to have to work for what they're going to get. And I feel like you were so comfortable with the situation, you already made the decision to be with them, that they really didn't have to work that hard to be with you. And I feel like the other person that they went toward could have been more sexually open, could have been more adventurous, could have been more spontaneous. You know, like, hey, let's go to the beach, right? And they just got off work and they're like, yeah, sure. And you'd be like, man, I'm so tired. So I feel like, again, there were just attributes and a newness to a relationship that, you know, they were waiting for and looking for. Whereas with you, I think it kind of, and I don't mean to say this wrong because this isn't on you, person watching, but it was kind of mundane to them, right? They wanted more of a spice. I feel like that's what you're going to find out. And that's the situation exploding. You're going to be like, what? Like, really? Like, I loved you. Like, you didn't really have to work for it. And that's the key. They didn't have to work for it. And they're the type that wanted to work for it, right? Let's see, burning evidence. Yeah, and bank failure. Yeah, they in the past, I feel like, again, didn't tell you, misled you, erased text messages, hid pictures. Maybe they even blocked you on social media. Could have been blocked on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, where, you know, you were following them, but you weren't friends with them, for example, right? I've been through that before too. And it's like, wait, what's going on? So you want me to see part of your life, but not all of your life? And that's part of the burning evidence, right? And again, divine intervention kicked in with that. And bank failure, I feel like this person failed not only financially, but mentally and emotionally. Again, going towards somebody that, you know, they had to pour everything into. And I feel like this person probably took them for all their finances. And you're going to find out that truth. You really are. What is this synchronicities? Yeah, beware, because this, like I said, this Mercury retrograde is bringing someone back from the past. Oh, sex shop. Okay, so sex shops under synchronicity. So again, I feel like this person that they went to was highly sexual, probably too over sexual. And at first it was like, hey, look what I got, you know, and then it kind of became, hey, look what I'm stuck with, right? Because, you know, it's fun to be with somebody who, you know, is a party in a bag, right? Will do anything with anyone, anywhere. But then when you realize they're community property and you're kind of on the outside looking in, I think that really hurt this person's ego. And they saw the signs and synchronicities. Yeah, they should have had more caution with this person, absolutely. And they blew it. They went all in with somebody who ended up being extremely toxic to them. So that was an all bad situation. And I feel like, again, situation is about to explode. You're going to find out all about that. You absolutely are. You're going to hear about this. So beware, person watching. It's coming in. It's definitely coming in, but I feel like this person regrets going that way. I feel like they regret leaving you. I feel like, you know, they want to come in with an apology. I feel like they do want to be honest with you, but I feel like this apology is not going to be, you know, as honest as you would like it to be. So I would advise you just to ask a lot of questions, you know, and keep in mind, tarot's here to clarify what you already know, right? I feel like you feel this person coming in. Yeah, look, they're in Ten of Wands, right? They're a mess right now. They're hating life. Again, they're broke mentally, financially, and emotionally. They want to come towards you. They're definitely going to try and come back in, but you're going to hear a lot. Oh my gosh, this is look at all these cards that just came out. This is insane. That's way too many cards at one time. Let me reshuffle this again. But yeah, they're mentally, emotionally, financially. They're crying. They're up crying. They're thinking. They can't get you out of their head. They've been through a lot of burdens. They've had a lot of blocks, delays, and challenges. And I feel like, you know, over the time frame that you haven't been with them or really talked to them, could be a couple years, could be, you know, 6 to 8 months. I feel like they've lost a lot of friends. They've lost a lot of family members. I feel like this person with this toxic energy, who they should have been more cautious with, just ended up screwing them up. Oh yeah, look, so we got the King of Cups. Could be dancing. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? A very loving, kind person, probably a little bit too generous, right? This is why everyone likes them and likes to hang out with them and just likes to absorb their energy. But this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is caught up in a tower moment now, right? They lost this relationship that they left you for. And again, I feel like this person was so toxic that he or she pulled them away from their family and a lot of their friends because they just wanted this person's undivided attention. And in order to get this person's money, in order to get this person's time, they knew they had to cut other people out of their life. And unfortunately, your person went for it. They absolutely did. And I feel like that's what you're going to hear about. Yeah, look, so now we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, right? Slowest moving knight in the deck, right? Horse is just standing there, not doing anything. Very solid offer, though, but something that's going to take time to develop. This person doesn't have time. Again, they're broke now. They're not on solid ground. They're completely chaotic, and they're coming flying in. Like that horse is like, phew, down the racetrack, right? It's not bloop, 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 and it's not just sitting there. It is booking. Like it is going, moving, and it's moving quickly toward you. Yeah, because look, and they're so stuck. So the thing is, this came out kind of sideways in reverse, but I'm going to take it upright. They're coming towards you because you were their star, right? You were the one that gave them the balance, the peace, the tranquility. You're the one that that they were able to talk to, that they were able to confide in, that they probably told their deepest, darkest secrets to, because you have this star quality, this star energy, this light that they were attracted to. But again, I feel like because you poured so much into them, you over poured. And again, it wasn't something that they were really absorbing anymore. It's something that's like they took the cup and kind of moved it to the side and was like, oh, he or she'll always be there, but let me go find him or her, you know, let me go find the exciting person. So again, I'm not downing you for, you know, doing that. That's who you are. You're a very loving, kind, passionate person, and that's okay. This at the time was just the wrong person. And again, they're in their chariot. They're coming towards you. They really are, with a lot of information about a lot of hurtful, painful decisions that they make that were toxic and that were very, very bad choices now that they're looking back. Yeah, they lost everything. They lost their family. They lost their money. They could have even married this person that they went towards, right? They could have done a hot wedding, like a quick getaway wedding where nobody came to it. Again, because they separated their family and friends away from them. And that's the only way that they could really get their claws into this person. But look, you're the Empress, right? You are every queen in the deck. You're kind, you're loving, you're passionate, you're totally grounded, and you have integrity. You know, you're truthful, you're honest about stuff. And again, you may have been too much. You may have been in this energy too much for them at the time that they were still toxic. But they realize that, you know, the ending that they've had with this person, they're hoping it's going to be a new beginning with you, because they see you as the world, right? They see you as the person that they should have never left. Like, they screwed up and they want to come back. Again, it's your decision, person watching. And if you feel like this person has changed, then go for it. Like, I'm all for love, right? I do believe people can change. I believe that it takes a lot for them to change, though, but it can happen. You know, it can happen. And sometimes people have to move away from each other in order to come back to each other, right? Now we have the Four of Wands, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this person's holding on to everything they can because I feel like they've lost everything they can. So what little money that they have left, they're holding on to it. It's something that just goes and goes and goes in their head. And I think they're trying to get out of their head, but I think a lot of that is focused on you, you know. They're definitely not at a crossroads anymore. They want to come and they want to, you know, get back into your energy. Yeah, look, they've been thinking about this. They've been contemplating this. This has been something that's been on their mind for a long time. I feel like they never stopped thinking about you, person watching. I feel like they always wondered about you in the back of their mind. And ultimately, that's why when this whole situation that they went toward blew up in their face, you came to the forefront of their mind. And now they're trying to contemplate and figure out how they're going to come back to you and how they're going to explain all this nefarious stuff that they did to you in the past, and how they're going to convince you that, yes, I want to be with you, I love you, everything's going to be great, you know. So yeah, because they're tired of being left out in the cold. They're just sick of waiting for their ships to come in, and they you know, they have made the choice. I feel like, you know, they're still sitting in the contemplation, but definitely left out in the cold. Their ships never came in with that relationship. They're still waiting for those those ships to come in, and they put themselves in this Two of Swords, right? They really want to talk right now, but they still have a blindfold on. So again, I feel like this person is going to come through during this Mercury in retrograde, so be prepared. I'm going to leave this here for now. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, throw a like on the video, and I will see you the next time I drop a video, person watching. Good luck. Bye.